Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Kizer Begleiter Fix, the fixed blade version of the popular Begleiter. So power through those close-ups and don't tell Dad these exist because then he's going to want one. The Begleiter Fix is designed by Azo Mai, who is one of Kizer's senior in-house designers. He has designed some of their most popular models like the Drop Bear, the Towser K, the Amicus, and more. Kizer is based in Guangzhou, China, and they are one of the most popular knife brands these days. They are just constantly coming out with new stuff, and I just had to review this latest one that I bought. The Begleiter Fix is a fixed blade version of the regular Begleiter that you see here. I've done a review on the folding version here, but I haven't done the Begleiter 2, I've only done the OG. This fixed version is a full tang knife, meaning that the metal that makes up the blade goes through the handle itself. This adds to the strength and the durability of this knife. The Begleiter Fix comes in a few different blade shapes. The Western style tanto that you see here, a drop point, and a sheep's foot. A Western style tanto is different than the traditional Japanese style tanto. A traditional tanto has a slight upward curve from the spine of the blade. The yokote is the line that separates the kisaki, or the tip portion, from the main blade. And for a traditional tanto, the edge of the kisaki is actually more curved. A Western style tanto has a straight edge for the kisaki, and the spine is very straight. The benefit of both traditional and Western style tantos is that the blade steel tends to retain its thickness out towards the tip. So you can sort of see what I mean when you compare the fixed blade Begleiter, this one, and the folding version. The thickness is quite obvious between the two. The fixed blade version is thicker towards the edge, and the folding one not as much. The extra thickness towards the tip, though, provides extra strength and durability when piercing. This knife has a compound grind, which is a fancy way of saying that it has two different blade grinds. The tip portion of this knife has a flat grind, and the main portion of the blade has a hollow grind. A flat grind is exactly what it sounds like. The blade is ground into having flat sides like a V, and this provides extra strength to the blade. In this case, it reinforces the tip. The hollow grind has more of a radius to the sides, which allows for the knife to be very thin behind the edge. This helps with slicing efficiency, and due to that thinness behind the edge, you can resharpen this knife plenty of times if needed. So let me highlight some of the history of the tanto blade shape for all of my nerdy history-loving people. The tanto is from Japan, and it's deeply ingrained in their history, and it dates back to the Heian period, which ran from about 794 to 1185. Tanto means short sword, and were worn by the samurai class along with their katanas. And even though common people did not wear them, sometimes women even carried smaller tantos called kaikens in their obis, primarily used for self-defense. Okay, so off of my history horse. The blade steel on this version is CPM 3V. It is a popular, really tough steel with high impact resistance and great edge retention. However, it is not stainless, so this knife has a matte DLC diamond-like carbon coating, which should increase that corrosion resistance while also making the blade scratch resistant. Even with the coating though, I would recommend cleaning it after use and applying a bit of oil every now and then. While this 3V version might not be the best choice for your next deep sea fishing excursion, all three blade shapes also come in an AEBL steel option instead. AEBL is a very tough and corrosion resistant steel, but the edge retention is not as good. I do want to also point out that there is some nice jimping on two sections of the spine of the blade. One at the back here, and the second on the front part of the spine for doing draw cuts. The blade length of the version that I have here is 3.74 inches with an overall length of 7.87 And remember, please check your local laws on what you can and cannot carry. Let's compare it to the usual trio of folding knives first. So we got Spyderco Paramilitary 2, my Civivi Elementum, which is probably closer, and finally the Civivi Baby Banter, which, I mean, it's small. For fixed blades, let me compare this to the Kizer Harpoon, the Vosteed Mink, the Kizer Harpoon mini version. The handle material on this one is the Rich Light Chocolate Glacier version. Rich Light is a paper-based composite material that is highly durable and has other use cases such as for countertops, guitars, in the aerospace industry, and more. Some of the benefits is that it is a non-porous material, so it's resistant to staining, it doesn't really absorb water, and it can withstand high temperatures. It's why you see a lot of fancy chefs with custom-made knives that have Rich Light handles. Some of the cons of that, though, are that it can scratch and chip if you're banging it around, and Rich Light can be a little bit more expensive than G10 and micarta. At the back end of this knife is a nice lanyard hole to add some paracord and a bead, and you know that I will be on the lookout for a Rich Light bead, but there's also a bit of a tapered point here that could be used as an impact tool if needed. The Begleiter Fix comes with a nice Kydex sheath with a Tech Lock clip, or Tech Lock style clip, to carry it on your belt or your bag. So, does this fit into your pockets, on your pants, or in your bags and purses? In your pockets, well, they really only work if you have pockets to begin with. Girl pants are stupid. TM, TM, TM. On your pants, more specifically, a belt for sure, that's what it's meant for. Tech Lock clips are great and very secure. On your leggings, you could, but you'd probably need a different attachment method like an ulti-clip, for example. In your bags and purses, this is a little long, so it'll take up a little more space, but not a terrible amount. As for the price, it varies with the materials that you want. I purchased the more fancy kind at $90, but there's other options that range from $60 and up. So let me break down the reasons that I like the knife and things that I think could be improved on. First, I love the Begleiter in general. You know, I have a more sentimental connection with it overall because it was one of the first few knives that I bought, and it was the knife that I bought for my dad and I shipwrecked. He uses that knife every day and it really makes me happy. I love that the Begleiter Fix has this added jimping on the spine in two places. It's always appreciated. I also really like the sheath. Tech Locks are really good. They're one of my favorites because they're reliable. Some things that I think that could be improved on is more because I have smaller hands. The front jimping is a little hard for me to reach because of my hand size. I think it's just kind of difficult to grip, and I feel like I really don't have a secure handle on it to do what I could do with this. You know, maybe Kizer will come out with a mini Begleiter Fix, you know, because that's really what I want. For my fiance, who has a standard large men's glove size hands, he loves it. It fits him well, and he says it works really nicely. I also wish that they went with a taco style sheath though for this as well. It would have made things even slimmer and lighter. And for example, if you look at the Kizer Mini Harpoon, this one has a taco sheath, so it's just literally folded over like a taco, which makes me a little hungry, but that's okay. It's really kind of nice, and it's very light. It's very comfortable. So that's it. That's all I got. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Did you love this? Hate this? Let me know if there's something I may have missed. As always, I do try to end with something inspirational or something nice because there's so much going on. It's Really easy to get overwhelmed. So my inspiration or cheat code for you today is to put your phone down and be present. I've been guilty of doom scrolling, and if you ever need an excuse to put the phone down and go touch grass, this is your sign to do so. So if you can, please subscribe and share my channel with your friends and your lady friends. I would appreciate it. Thank you everyone for taking the time and making it to the end. My self-esteem thanks you. You are large?
A large glove.
Oh, you are? You know what they say about large.
Big hands.